Peter from Singapore asks the following question. My findings from the inquiry, can I be seen, is this. I who sees my body and everything else cannot be found, cannot be seen. And to me it's a paradox because usually we equate cannot be found as absent or doesn't exist. However, I cannot deny the existence of the seer, yet it cannot be found or located. My conclusion is the seer exists or seeing takes place, but the seer cannot be seen or be found. I ask you for advice and guidance. My question is, number one, so what now? Number two, and what has the knowledge of not knowing where I am got to do with enlightenment? Because it is quite a joke that I can see my body, but I don't know where I am. Dear Peter, these findings are very important. You ask, so what now? You see, the seer cannot be found, and you mean really it cannot be located, it cannot be found in space. What now? The conclusion is that if it cannot be found in space, it may be because it is not in space. Now, if your question, so what now, means kind of what next, well, I suggest a second step. Just as the seer cannot be found, and by seer I don't mean, of course, that which perceives the images, but that which perceives everything, be it hearing the sounds, feeling the tactile sense, perceiving the feelings and the bodily sensations, perceiving the thoughts. That's the seer, if you will, with a capital S. So just as the seer cannot be located or found in space, can it be found in time? And the conclusion you will reach, but you have to do the investigation for yourself, is that just as it cannot be found in space, it cannot be found in time. So what now? Well, if it cannot be found in time, it may be, or it must be, that it is not in time. Therefore, that it is in a timeless dimension. So it is neither in space nor in time. Now you ask, what has the knowledge of not knowing where I am got to do with enlightenment? Enlightenment is the knowledge of knowing where you are. It is the knowledge of knowing what you are. A prerequisite for this knowledge, which paves the way for it, is the finding that the seer, the Atman, the presence, that which we call I, the self, is neither in space nor in time. From the fact that if you look for it in space or in time, you don't find it. You cannot conclude that it is not in space or time, but you can infer it, or at least you can be open to this possibility that it is not in space or in time. So that gives, that orients, that directs your search for your true identity in a new direction, which is, if you will, at right angle with the dimensions of space and time. So the connection between this discovery and enlightenment is precisely this, is that it propels you on a path which is different from the path of time and space. More and more, you will get accustomed to the possibility that that which you are, that which is hearing these words in this moment, is not in space or in time, and also is not in the mind, is not a perception, is not an object of the mind. That which perceives the mind is not in the mind. That which perceives the thoughts is not a thought. It is a reality of its own. Become acquainted with this possibility until it becomes your experience. Until you realize that this possibility was the reality. That would be enlightenment, this realization, this understanding, this experience. Enlightenment is not the discovery of what consciousness is not. This discovery of what consciousness is not is only a preliminary step that makes enlightenment possible. Many seekers get stuck having understood this first possibility. They believe that that is enlightenment. Of course, they have achieved something that will never be taken away from them. But at that stage, they have not conquered the peace, the happiness, the unalloyed joy that is there, up for grabs as this presence. Thank you for your question.